welcome to Clearview News Desk. We're reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. First, the headlines. Gunmen abduct former House of Rep member, kill police escort in Nasarawa State. Tears as custom officer wife, 4 kids die in fire outbreak. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump threatens, "I will hit the Middle East more than any of its leaders in history." I am Florence Joshua with these and more. Former member of the House of Representatives, Honorable Dr. Joseph Haruna Kigbo, was abducted yesterday evening by suspected bandits while traveling to Jos. The attack, which occurred around 6 p.m., took place between Unko in Akwanga local government area, Nasarawa State, and Gwantu in Sanga local government area, Kaduna State. It was gathered that the assailants fatally shot the police escort assigned to Dr. Kigbo, who attempted to resist the abduction. Local villagers confirmed the incident, adding that the location has been a hotspot for criminal activities over the years. According to eyewitnesses, the bandits fired sporadically, causing panic among motorists in there. Meanwhile, the National State Police Command is yet to issue a statement as calls to the police public relations officer went unanswered at the time of this report. The adoption of Dr. Kigbo and the death of the police escort underscore the persistent security challenges plaguing the region, with many residents calling for increased security presence in the area. The Osun State Fire Service said on Monday that he had begun a probe into the fire incident which killed a custom officer attached to Oyo Osun Command, Tijani Kabiru, his wife and 4 children in their house in Ede. The incident, which occurred in a Akanka area of Ede in the early hours of Monday, immediately threw the community into mourning and caused panic among the residents, who woke up to the news of the passage of the victims. A neighbor to the late Kabiru, said to be in his 40s, simply identified as caller, said a smoke was observed from the house around 3 a.m. Upon discovery that the smoke was coming from Kabiru's house, caller said the fire service operative from the other fire station were contacted. However, the house had been badly razed before the arrival of the firemen. Adding that the Kabiru, his wife, and the 4 children lost their lives in the inferno, while one of the children escaped. Meanwhile, the spokesperson for the State Fire Service, Ibrahim Adekule, in a statement signed by the director of the fire service, Mr. Lani Almin, confirmed the incident, saying 6 lives were lost to the inferno. May their soul rest in peace. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has called for the immediate release of hostages taken during the Hamas-led assault on Israel, warning that those responsible will face severe consequences if the captives are not freed before his inauguration on January 20th, 2025. Trump, in a post on Truth Social Media on Monday, did not directly name Hamas, but warned that his leadership would hit the Middle East more than any of its leaders had done in history. Mr. Trump's statement comes amid a ceasefire agreement between Israel and Lebanon, midwifed by America and France. Following the October 7 attack on Israel, about 250 persons were abducted and have been taken hostage. Around 100 of them remain in Gaza, with reports suggesting that a third of those taken are believed to have died. The federal government has established a technical working group to develop a national implementation framework on Sangaya reformation in Nigeria. The group's primary objective is to revitalize the Almajiri system and provide innovative solutions for its sustainability. The report. At the commissioning event in Abuja, the Executive Secretary of the National Commission for Almajiri and Out-of-School Children's Education, Dr. Muhammad Sani Idris, emphasized the need for the Almajiri system to adopt means of sustenance while expressing concern that some groups exploit street children, leading to social unrest. Meanwhile, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Citizenship and Leadership, Rensola Abiola, has expressed the present administration's commitment to support out-of-school children.
Revitalizing Almajiri system of education means making Nigeria safer, because I told you that the absence of their understanding of the correct teaching of the verses of the Holy Quran has given Boko Haram the opportunity to come and preach to them a gospel that is not in concordance with the true teaching of the Quran. So to revitalize that system, it means to give them linguistical immunity against the acceptance of the ideologies of Boko Haram. What we are expecting after the 4 years first tenure of His Excellency is more peaceful Nigeria, where everybody will have a sense of belonging.
I understand that religious education is important, but so is Western education. We need our citizens, our young people especially, to be empowered for the future, to be empowered to compete globally, to be empowered economically, socially, educationally, professionally. And I believe that reform is what we need, and that's why we have partnered today with the National Commission for Almajiri and Out-of-School Children's Education. So that's why this partnership is in place, along with Plan International and other key partners, to ensure that we're actually able to cater properly to the needs of the young people who fall within that bracket.
The project director of KDC Foundation, Khalifa Mustafa, outlined the committee's terms of reference, which include drafting a functional federal framework to guide comprehensive and sustainable reform in the country.
We want to have a functional curriculum that fits the socio-economic realities and peculiarities of these and girls schools.
It's not just bring the children, let's feed them. No. My people say teach somebody how to fish. Don't just give the person fish.
Plan International Nigeria, through its head of social development programs, Lapan Onisimus, has for the past 2 years led several efforts around Almajiri reform, securing specific funding from the European Union. The federal government has commenced a free compressed natural gas bus service in Abuja to ease transportation costs for Nigerians in the capital city. The CNG bus began operations on December 2, 2024, as shown in a video shared by Presidential CNG Initiative on its X, formerly Twitter page. The buses, according to reports, will run along popular routes from suburbs in Abuja, such as Maraba to Eagle Square and Bega bus stop. The government has said the buses will convey passengers free of charge for the next 40 days. The free bus ride would end on January 6, 2025. Recall last week, the government, through the Ministry of Transportation, handed over 15 compressed natural gases powered buses to 3 transport unions to ease the high cost of transportation in the capital city. The transport unions that benefited from the gesture include the National Road Transport Workers Union, the Nigerian Association of Road Transport Owners, and the Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria. If you're just joining us, you're watching the news on Clearview News Desk. We will be back after this break. Stay with us.
We break the news.
This is Christ Embassy.
Recollect, we were the first to break this.
Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf of Kano State has approved the appointment of 3 second-class emirs.
And this?
Erasmus is the most successful program of the European Union to support education and youth.
And this?
Fubara is not an ungrateful person.
And more.
Tension is currently mounting in Rivers State.
The planned arraignment of Yaya Bello.
Across our platforms. Subscribe now and you will be receiving our notifications and never left out as the news breaks on Clearview.
Welcome back. Clearview News Desk has observed a knowledge gap among many Nigerians with regards to the statutory functions and responsibility of key officers, departments and agencies of government. For example, the average Nigerian appears to have limited knowledge about the differences and similarities that exist between the upper and lower chamber of the National Assembly. In the first of our series, we present to you an overview of the workings of Nigeria's National Assembly.
Having started out with a parliamentary system of government after independence in 1960, it later switched to a presidential system in 1979. Nigeria operates a presidential system of democracy. This was done primarily to achieve a more enhanced separation of powers and checks and balances among the three branches of government. The highest lawmaking body of the Federation is the Nigerian Parliament, commonly known as the National Assembly, which runs a bicameral legislature with two chambers having equal legislative powers in terms of lawmaking. Established under Section 4 of the Nigerian Constitution and comprising of a 109-member Senate and a 360-member House of Representatives, Nigeria's National Assembly is modeled after the Federal Congress of the United States. It is meant to guarantee equal representation of states, irrespective of size in the Senate, and proportional representation of population in the House. The National Assembly is located in Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Bills introduced to the National Assembly must get concurrent approval from both chambers before the President could sign them into law. The House of Representatives, also called the Green Chamber, is the lower chamber of Nigeria's bicameral National Assembly. The Green Chamber has 360 members who are elected in a single-member constituency using the plurality or first-past-the-post system. The House is led by Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, who serves as the current Speaker of the Green Chamber. The House of Representatives, among its major responsibilities, is a place where government is formed. Decisions on matters of national interest taken, representation of the interests of the electorates, debates and votes of bills proposed, and amendments made. Issues are examined in committees as well as scrutinizing the executive arm of government. It also has general powers, which include powers to approve the budget and process legislations. The Senate is known as the Red Chamber and also the upper chamber of the National Assembly. It consists of 3 members from each Nigerian state and 1 member from the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The Nigerian Senate is headed by the President of the Senate, who currently is Senator Godswill Akpabio. The Senate performs oversight functions such as the investigation of the implementation of annual budgets by government departments and the supervision of Nigeria's foreign policies by passing into legality treaties entered into by the country. The Senate also approves diplomatic and ministerial appointments, judiciary appointments, and removal of judicial officers at the federal level, as well as issuing approval for states and local governments' creation and amends the Constitution when necessary. Lastly, the Senate disciplines and controls the conduct of its members in the chamber. On immunity, no member of the Senate can be sued or arrested for anything he says on the floor of the Senate.
And that's the news, but before we go, a recap of the top stories. Former member representing Lafia Obi Federal Constituency, Honorable Joseph Haruna Kigbo, has been abducted by suspected bandits while traveling to Jos on Monday evening. A custom officer, his wife, and 4 children have reportedly died in a fire incident that occurred in their home in Ede, Osun State. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has called for the immediate release of hostages taken during the Hamas-led assault on Israel, warning that those responsible will face severe consequences if the captives are not freed before his inauguration on January 20, 2025. You can follow up on events and latest happenings around you on our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Clearview News Dex, or via our handle on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Clearview Online. Many thanks for watching. I am Florence Joshua. Bye for now.